St. Patrick's Day is coming up again, and today we're going to talk about Leprechaun in the Hood. He finally made it to the hood. I knew he had it in him this whole time. We're going to talk about if it's a great classic horror comedy parody or whatever, or if it's just kind of Today on Talking About Tapes.
Talking about tapes.
Hello, Joe.
Hello, Tony.
Joe, what's the thing I always say here at Hack the Movies?
You usually say, you're so bad, you're good.
No. I say diversity is our strength.
Oh.
And today,
I thought it, or Lep in the Hood come to do no
today
good.
I would
Because you're
not.
Italian, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Today we're talking about Leprechaun in the Hood,
Yeah.
and I wanted someone who was represented in this film. So we have Sean O'Rourke here.
Oh,
Irish.
yes.
Top of the morning to you.
And I said I said back in the day, I was like, when I reviewed Leprechaun in the Hood, I will do it with an Irish person.
Yes.
Because it would be offensive if I didn't do it with an Irish
100%.
Obviously.
And look, today, Leprechaun in the Hood. Everyone knows this movie. A lot of people probably haven't seen it.
I feel like people know this one more than like any of the other ones.
Yeah, I could see
Yeah,
that.
people know Leprechaun.
Sure.
They know
the
that he
character.
went to the hood, and then they know he went back to the hood.
to the
To the hood. Yes,
THA.
Leprechaun in the Hood. Now, the director of Leprechaun 3 and 4, which are two movies I love. I reviewed 3, I reviewed 4 last year. I love those movies. They're
4 is
great.
great, yeah.
They're great double features. They are the most self-aware. Like they balance the comedy so well in that.
That's true.
Sure, there's, little errors like you see like the bungee cord throwing the leprechaun and stuff.
So what?
Maybe some of the magic isn't consistent. But anyway, love those movies. He wanted to come back and he pitched Leprechaun in the White House.
Holy shit. Warwick Davis as the president?
Well,
as
he was
the
going to be
Leprechaun?
torturing the president, and they
Oh.
were going to be modeled off of the Clintons at that
was gonna
time.
say
Because it was the
2000, yeah.
What was the 90s? Well, yeah, tail end of the 90s.
Oh, hey, you little cute green boy. Come over here.
Would he be like, would he either summon a Monica Lewinsky demon, or would he be the demon, depending on the version?
He'd be getting a blowy from that,
He'd be biting off
leprechaun demon.
Biting off Bubba's jub.
Oh no, who's Clinton's brother? From
Joe.
Pumpkinhead.
Oh, from Pumpkinhead 2.
From Pumpkinhead 2. He's playing guitar.
Oh, dude,
for
and
him.
he played the president in the movie. Well, listen, Bill, you might have got to be president of the United
But
States.
I fought
But
Pumpkinhead.
I was the president in Leprechaun 5. His pitch was rejected. So then they went with some guy for Leprechaun 5. I looked up his credits. Nothing rang any bells.
Same for the writers, too.
Yeah.
Oh man, speaking of which, they are sorely missed from the other films because the limericks in this are shit.
There
We'll
are
get-
a
we'll
lot
get
of them,
to it.
though.
We'll get
There
to
are
it.
a lot of them, though. I feel like he didn't rhyme as much in 3 and 4.
No.
This one, he's rhyming a lot. I feel like every line of dialogue is a rhyme, pretty much.
Normally it is, but
Yeah. No, I feel like
for a
I feel
movie,
like 3 and 4, there were moments where he didn't rhyme.
For a movie-
and there's also a character besides Lubden, or Leprechaun, whatever you want to call him,
Yeah.
that does their own limericking.
Yes, that's
also
true.
Well, you also get that in 3 as well.
Oh,
Well,
do you?
remember.
Yeah.
I've said this in all the episodes. It's a different leprechaun each time.
No, yes.
Except for returns, because it's literally a continuation
Well,
of
this
one.
one is really bad at rhyming and limericks, even though he's in the Hood installment of this where everybody's rapping throughout the entire film.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And we'll talk about how well the hood was represented in this film.
Yeah, and just I want to mention just real quickly, on Hack the Movies, that's absolutely how it is, Tony. But on Movie Dumpster, I don't want to tune our own stupid horns
Yeah.
here, but
Yeah.
it's all connected, Tony.
Oh, it's all connected. Sorry.
Lubden, as he's been, lovingly referred to based on a comic book or some bullshit.
Yeah.
It's the same character. It's the same character.
It's solidified.
Well, look.
He has a deep lore in a well. It's
Well,
a whole thing.
We know they're like birthed in litters. He mentions that in 2.
Yeah.
We know that they can be dissected and multiply.
True.
So I just feel like every normal leprechaun looks like the Warwick Davis one.
Sure.
The good ones look like the Warwick Davis.
Yes, and then of course there's like the were leprechaun from 3, but
right,
we've
yeah.
already covered that.
I'm into that though.
Yes. But yes, this film, it explores the age-old question, what are the negative effects of illegal Irish immigration on the black community? And that's what we're going to talk about today. It opens up with stock footage of the first film.
The future's not good, for no one is safe from a lap in the hood.
Pisses me off so much.
That's when you know you're in for a good time if it opens up with reused footage of the first film.
It's such a good shot though when he's coming down the stairs.
Yeah,
It's
that's
great.
why they used
It's
it to
so
open up
awesome.
the first
Yeah,
film.
and they put over another like a voiceover from Warwick.
And then the next scene immediately makes it make zero sense whatsoever.
Yes. So I fucking every movie they change the rule of the leprechauns or they add a rule. Now there's something about a goddamn flute that's like his favorite thing in the world.
I feel like every piece of gold is his favorite thing in the world. So
Yeah.
you couldn't. Maybe the flute was into the whole time.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you mean, Tony? Italians don't play the flute?
We're known for playing flute.
They play the fucking ocarina, dude, or the piccolo.
Oh.
Now, we get to see the 70s. We get to see young Ice-T in the 70s.
I am telling you right now. Speaking of MDU,
Oh, yeah, right. Movie Dumpster Universe
movie
for
dumpster
the uninitiated.
universe for the uninitiated. This is a couple years after Bones
With
Right,
Snoop Dogg.
With Snoop.
with Snoop Dogg. Ice-T is in Bones' mansion, and that's where the hidden leprechaun was with the
Oh,
gold.
it's like under it?
yeah. And then after the end of this movie, Ice-T turns his shit around, becomes a cop, and then takes out Nino Brown in New Jack City.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
him and Wesley Snipes, and then after that, Wesley Snipes dies, becomes the Daywalker. It's a whole thing.
Okay, good,
Yeah.
good.
Johnny Mnemonic's in there somewhere.
Yeah.
I actually reviewed all 3 Blade films recently.
There you go.
there you
We
go.
just did a
Speaking of-
commentary track for New Jack City.
Yes.
And a mini on Bones.
There you go.
Speaking of Ice-T,
Yes.
at the time of this recording, we recorded this ahead of time.
Also, not Ice Cube, by the way.
Also not Ice Cube, and this is the alternate timeline where he does not become a kangaroo man.
True.
That's true. Which I also reviewed that tango.
Yes.
Ice-T just got a star on the Walk of Fame.
Oh, congratulations, Ice-T.
He did it. He did an acceptance speech. I don't know. And
he
he
mention-
shouted out. He literally shouted out to all of his haters and how they inspire him the most. And they're what drives him more than anyone else. And he like really give it up for all my haters, everyone who yelled at me all over the years. You made this possible, and I'm like, what a fucking hero!
He is.
I'm like, that's literally something I would do. Like that's levels of spite that I'll just like that. I wish I could reach that level at one point.
I don't follow too many celebrities, but he is one to fucking follow on Twitter. He's always dunking
pretty
on
funny.
people.
Yeah.
He's great.
He's got no shame, that guy.
He's got no. He like literally doesn't give a fuck.
No,
And
it's
he'll
great.
tell you he doesn't give a fuck many times. So this is the 70s. They got their fros.
Oh, yeah.
And like their stylish jacket, they're like Superfly or whatever.
Yeah.
They're digging around the subway. They don't find what they were looking for, but they do find a leprechaun encased in stone, and it's the same prop from Leprechaun 3. Literally the same prop.
And we're still doing that necklace thing.
What was that,
Yes.
in 2 or 3? What the hell was
3.
Three.
That was
Okay.
3. That was 3. So yeah, they're digging around. He gets the flute. He's like, "Oh man, I love this flute. This is what
He
I
seems
want."
to know what it is instantly, though.
Yeah. Did Ice-T have like the lore book about the leprechaun? Like,
Yeah.
if I get that motherfucking flute, I'm gonna take over Motown.
He had the map in his afro.
He has a lot of stuff in the
that's a
afro,
great
as we
gimmick.
learned. Speaking of fro, his friend takes the medallion off the leprechaun.
There's a pot of gold in front of him, and he goes
Yeah.
for the medallion.
Yeah.
Like, just leave it alone.
And the leprechaun like wakes up right away, picks up the fro pick and stabs him with the fro pick. I'm like, okay.
Right in the throat.
I'm
Okay,
like, there
this
we
is-
go.
This is the first instance of like really shitty editing in this movie.
Yeah.
Because like the leprechaun is like walking around going, yeah. It's real quiet, and he just like murks this dude like off screen.
Yeah.
There's a lot of off screen shit
I
in
love
this.
Ice-T, though. He's just like watching, like, huh, that just happened. Pulls,
like
pulls
si-
out his pistol.
It's like silence for like a minute and a half, or like little sound effects.
Now we don't know how long this leprechaun had been down there.
Who put him there is what I want to know.
That's a good question, but he was clearly around for the civil rights movement because he literally quotes Martin Luther King Jr. He literally goes,
Free at last! Free at last! Thank God Almighty! Free at last!
and I'm sitting there and I'm like, huh.
that didn't
I don't know if
rhyme.
that was the most appropriate thing, but okay.
Yeah, I mean, let's get out of it right here in the front. Maybe some of the jokes don't hold up from 23 years ago.
Oh no, I think they're funnier, Sean.
In a different way. In a different way.
I'm not gonna say I didn't laugh really hard at that.
I laughed a lot during this. I'll admit that too.
I laughed at it like originally it'd be like, "Hi, he's quoting MLK," and now I'm laughing because I'm like, "Oh my god, no
He's
one else would
quoting
even
MLK.
attempt that joke."
Oh my god, that is so true.
So yeah, this is the most out of all the crazy things that happen in this movie. usually all the really crazy stuff is tied to the Leprechaun, but this is the most Looney Tunes thing ever. He literally pulls a small bat out of his afro. It was just in there.
I mean, I laughed at it, but it was like, where does that play into the tone of this film?
Yeah, it's weird, right? Like,
I mean, it kind of sets you up to know like what's coming next when you really think about it.
nothing else is as ridiculous as
No, that's
that,
what I
unless
mean.
it's tied to the Leprechaun
fair.
itself. So
Yeah.
that was kind of weirder. I'm like, okay, maybe the whole movie will be like that. I'm like, no, that's kind of the only time it gets really bizarre.
Yeah, straight up wacky, I guess. Yeah.
But yeah, he speaking of Looney Tunes, he does
like
like
Home Alone 2.
yeah, he does like a Looney Tunes situation that leads the Leprechaun to fall on a seesaw thing that puts the medallion back on
Yeah.
him. And to their credit, they made a new statue. Because when I first saw this, I'm like, they're just gonna reuse the statue from 3. I'm like, oh no, they had it, and they built a new one because they knew he'd be in a different position. I'm
And
like,
it looks
kudos.
awful.
Why even
It does
use?
look terrible.
Why
It
even,
doesn't look as good.
It
as the
doesn't
other
even
one.
look like him.
why even use the one from 3 at all if you're gonna immediately have a second statue? So there's right off the bat there's an inconsistency in the film.
Because Sean,
Also, the effect looks like a fucking Photoshop action, by the way.
it is. Because if they had built a whole new prop and used it twice, I would be in this review right now going, he got frozen in the same exact position.
Right.
So this
But-
is
They
but
could
now
have
that-
painted it green at least.
But now that they used the one from 3, I'm like, oh, good. I would have complained if he was in the same position, and they knew about that.
Yeah. Well, somehow this is a split timeline from 3. Instead of going to Vegas, this time he goes to the hood. So that's how they're picking that up for you.
But yeah, we meet our heroes in the future.
Postmaster fucking P.
Our heroes. Every main character in the films I review, they're our heroes.
everybody
I
in
just
this
started doing that. like-
everybody in this movie sucks.
I feel like I started doing that last year. At some point, I started referring to the characters as our heroes. And I was going back looking at some old episodes. I'm like, when did I start that?
I mean, in some instances, that's true.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So our heroes, they're rapping about the power of positivity.
Master P, not even Master P.
Yeah.
Postmaster P.
Postmaster
with
P,
a positive
and, like-
message.
Postmaster P, that's me, you see. The peaceful positive, and that's my guarantee.
This is like, what, 2000? These guys should know that this isn't going to sell.
Yeah, this isn't like 1980 where you can maybe get away with it. Not to mention that they kind of suck.
Yeah, they do kind of suck. But it's like, these young guys, especially with the names they picked, I'm like, they should know. Unless they're like, fuck everyone, we're gonna do it like this. Like, they should know that this isn't gonna be a big hit.
I mean, this is like the height of Wu-Tang and everything.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck were they thinking? I mean, maybe that's the joke, though, is they are so bad.
Again, unless they were going for a specific demographic, in which case they would have been smart.
The problem is they don't get any better, even with the flute.
No, they
need
don't.
the fucking magic flute because it sucks so bad.
I will say, I don't want to jump ahead, but there's a meta joke about that later. I kind of appreciate where one of the characters is like, man, we fucking suck.
They're getting shit thrown at them.
Oh, yeah.
An
the
awkward
balcony.
ADR, which I feel like there's a few of in this.
Yeah, no, yeah.
But yeah, their names are Postmaster P for positivity, Stray Bullet, and Butch. And their whole thing is they're auditioning to go to Vegas to be in a contest.
The next top rapper or something.
They're already in Los Angeles.
They're in Compton, dude.
Yeah, but they want to
Right.
go to Vegas for a competition to come back as like heroes, even
like-
though they're already our heroes.
It's like Bring It On.
It's
Superheroes.
just like bring it on. It's just like bring it on.
This whole Vegas side plot, or through line, I guess I should say, is super confusing because I feel like there's like three or four times in the movie they're like, "Yeah, we're going to Vegas tomorrow," and then it's like something else happens, like, "You're going to Vegas tomorrow."
Yeah, they're always like it always. I will get to it later, but like it feels like they're about to go to Vegas, and then they're just at different clubs,
Yeah.
and I'm like, when are they going to Vegas?
Well, they have to play the show
Yeah.
to get to Vegas.
No,
Well, I would-
yeah.
It didn't. Yeah, but the way they were, I
way
know
they
that's
talk
what's
about it is
happening, but
weird.
the way they were acting and stuff, it kept feeling like the next scene would be Vegas.
Well, yeah, because they were extremely optimistic that
yeah,
they were
which
gonna win
I
this
don't know
thing.
why they want to go to Vegas. They should be like, I heard there was a leprechaun there a few years ago. It cut a guy in half at a magic show.
That movie doesn't exist in this timeline, Tony.
Blew up Stretch's ass and lips.
Oh wait,
It's
you know
true.
what? You know what? It did happen. It does exist. No one knows about it because it stayed in Vegas.
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Yeah, the fucking were-leprechaun, the whole shebang.
Yep. They were like, you know what? Let's never tell anyone about this. By the way, leprechauns are real. Let's not tell anyone because it happened in Vegas.
Makes sense.
They try to pawn off Jimi Hendrix's guitar that he signed in 1971. They're trying to do it to their pawn shop guy.
It's
I know he has a name.
Psychedelapalooza, man.
At Psychedelapalooza. I think his name is Jackie D. Or...
Jackie D, played by
Yeah.
Dan Martin. He is the cop from Sleepwalkers.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah. He's in Clovis. Get the bad guy. Get the
You know what?
bad
I
guy.
see Sleepwalkers in my DVD. I've seen it before.
Dude, it's so
It's
good.
been a many years since I've seen it. And I'm always like, hey, I should rewatch Sleepwalkers. And I just never get around to rewatching it. And it just stares at me every day. And I'm like, I'm going to not here. My personal collection. My
Just going
home-
along with the bit, Tony. You didn't have to like admit it.
No, because I'm sure I did a video right now on Patreon showing off the whole new set. And everyone knows that that's Toy Wall and Dark Knight Shrine.
And now we're gonna get shit because we haven't showed the movie Dumpster yet, and people have been asking.
Well,
No,
Tony,
no,
what's
no,
that
no,
link?
don't-
What's that link?
Patreon.com/hackthemovies.
There you go.
There you
And
go.
don't worry, Joe. I actually walked around your house with a camera. So
Oh.
it's actually on my Patreon.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
On the
Oh,
$10
wait,
tier,
shit,
obviously,
You know
right?
what? You know what? Sorry. You could still do the dungeon. I showed the rest of the house.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, I didn't get around to the dungeon because you were down there. I'm like, okay, here's the bedroom.
Yes.
Anyway. Yeah, so the guy's like, yeah, Jimi Hendrix died in 1970. Get the fuck out of here. But they're trying to pawn stuff so they can buy equipment because their equipment died during their audition.
Died.
It
It
exploded.
exploded because Butch is like a fucking chemist? Question mark.
Yeah.
I guess, or bomb maker of some kind.
Well, he's like, oh, we're never gonna get out of the hood. We need to get out of the hood and be big rap artists. It's like, go to college, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Go get a job.
Yeah.
That's not the movie we're watching.
I
though, Joe.
know.
But anyway, oh, by the way, what I do know is that Butch hasn't gotten laid.
Yeah.
That's kind of a funny joke.
They make sure to tell you that he's a virgin. And even the guy is all like, Butch, you need to get laid. Or no, he says, you gotta get some pussy, which I thought was very inappropriate.
That whole through line to the end of the movie, in a dress.
Yes.
I mean, that was stupid, but it was funny as hell when the blind grandma's even making a comment about it.
Yeah.
You're such a big strapping lad. Why can't
Oh
you get
my
a date?
God.
What, you got bad teeth or something?
When we get to the fucking grandma, there are scenes in this movie that I think they were like, fuck, the movie's too short. Throw something in.
Yeah.
Throw something in.
There's a few.
This movie's too short. The movie.
Yes.
That's because there's some fucking bad
There's
editing.
some.
We're
There are
pulling
so
shit
many.
out. We're
Yeah,
stuffing
actually,
shit in.
Mr. Chow feels like it's added because they're like,
Heavy
we just
duty.
did a pawn thing here.
Yeah.
It's like now we're gonna pawn it on Mr. Chow.
Chow's
So
funny as hell.
He is,
He is
very,
funny.
very
This is Chow
funny.
Tang. He's Chow Ting's brother
Yes.
from Tales from the Dark Side.
Of course.
It all comes
He's got
out
that
in the wash.
laundry coming.
Yeah.
This guy's funny as hell, though. The little bit of screen time he gets,
Yeah.
he's like dancing. Show me your dance moves. He's like,
Yeah,
dancing
later on
around.
he's
He's like,
dancing.
everybody knows Jimi Hendrix died in 1970.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
very
yeah.
knowledgeable of Jimi Hendrix.
He's keeping pickled fucking babies on the wall.
Well,
and
that's
stuff.
important for later.
Yeah,
For that scene that, like Tony just said, was clearly shot after the fact.
Oh, that's an insert 100%.
I lived in the hood briefly.
Did you?
At Temple University.
Yeah.
I lived in
Tone in the Hood come to do no good?
yes, I lived in a really good part of the neighborhood. And the Asian gentlemen there were very nice. They introduced me to 211 Steel Reserve.
Oh.
They're like, this place, I'm not going to do the accent. They were like, this stuff is great. It used to be it was more popular before Four Loko came around, but it's cheaper. And I'm like, give me that 211 Steel Reserve.
Yo, Steel Reserve's my favorite, and it doesn't come in glass bottles anymore, by the way.
Well, yeah, it came in cans.
No. Excuse me. Old English was my jam.
Old English.
That came in a 40.
I wasn't the biggest in Old English.
Yeah.
I used to do Steel Reserve, and then I would get really, really drunk. And then I'd go to the other Chinese establishment, which was a food place that was open till 4 a.m. And I would eat, and then I'd wake up and get more drunk. And I'd be like, oh, I'm hungry. And that's how I got
Jesus.
fat.
You know,
Also dating women. But that's what really, because I was so stressed, I would then drink, which led me to eating. And it was just a fucking loop. And that's how I got fat in college.
cycle of the Chinese food and Chinese guys making you drink dirty beer.
and it,
Yeah.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
I gotta say, Tony, you know, the moment's already passed, but it was very brave of you to not do the accent.
You know what? I think it was pretty brave of me, too. It was pretty brave of me, too. I'll do the Irish accent if you give me permission.
I mean, I don't give a fuck.
Okay, I mean, I'm not technically Irish, too. But anyway, back to this. So they're walking around. They throw the guitar out.
They throw a whole fucking perfectly fine guitar out. They have
No, I got a Goodwill. Things probably doesn't even work.
Dude, but they could sell it for a couple bucks at least.
No, they tried.
They were trying to sell it for more than a couple
They
bucks.
were trying to sell it for like a couple grand.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, they toss it. And they get to see Ice-T, Mac Daddy.
Oh, Mac Dad, he's
He's
pimping
just
it up.
ice in my notes.
I
I'm
also
sorry.
love how he just is like playing with the flute like it's like a piece of like I don't know, like a
Like,
toothpick or
shit,
something.
Fucking blow on this thing, and now he was a pimp. Now he's the king of Motown. Now he
Yes.
owns one of the biggest gangster rap labels
Yeah.
in the
Yes.
scene.
I'm just saying, you think that if this thing's so fucking important, you keep it in your pocket or like in a safe,
Yeah.
not just do.
Oh, because he's a cocky fuck.
I know.
Yeah. He's peacocking. He's,
Yeah.
he's
He's like,
showing
"Look,
off his
look, I
bling
got
and
this."
stuff. They try to pitch their song to him, and he listens to it.
He actually lets them come in and play the tape,
Yes.
and they immediately fuck up their deal.
Yes.
What are you talking about?
He's
I like
not.
that scene.
He's not into positivity.
No, the fact of the
He
matter
did
is,
say it wasn't the worst thing, though.
no, and he's like, we can do something with this, but then he smashes the fucking cassette tape.
Yeah. Royce and Pessy, they showed me an old video from the 90s, Christian rap.
Oh yeah. Well, you ever heard Christian metal?
No, I've heard Christian metal, but I haven't here.
Kick out some Striper.
They should rap about the Christian side hug. There's literally a rap that goes, "Give me that Christian side hug. Give me that Christian side," because you don't want to hug on the front because your genitals are too close. So you want to hug from the side so your genitals aren't too close to each
You
other.
just got to leave a little room for the Holy Spirit, Tom.
These are the EG rules, so pay attention. It's essential. This ain't no front hug
That
zone. You
Eminem?
ain't that fly. You ain't my dome.
Eminem fucking wishes.
Yes. Do you think if they went in there going, "Give me that Christian side hug," Ice-T would be like, "Yeah, I'm signing you guys right away."
Like,
I
this
think-
this is amazing.
He probably would have the bodyguard just blow him away. This scene's kind of great because you guys are right. At first, he's kind of like, all right, I'm kind of feeling this,
Yeah.
but you got to make a gangster because this is lame.
Yeah.
Shooting your motherfucking homeboy in the face and smacking bitches.
So,
Yeah.
like, I got to respect Postmaster P in this scene because it's like, yeah, you're going to change your whole situation, your whole, like, vibe just because this guy's going to sign you. I also understand where his other friends coming from. Like, fuck that, let's get the money. But, you know, it's an interesting scene, and then he gets that phone call that really pisses him off, and he's like, I'm gonna take your dick, I'm gonna fit it to my pit, and then when it shits out, I'm gonna light it on fire! Don't fuck with me, motherfucker! And then he's like,
comes out my dog's ass.
and he's in the middle of that call already pissed, and like, Butch is like fucking with like the glass case that has literally London inside.
Yeah.
And he's like, what is that? What's this in yours, motherfucker? Get the fuck away!
He gets
Fuck
real
this
nervous.
guy.
He gets real nervous when they get near the glass case. I love that he has it in a glass case just so he knows where it is all the time.
Again, put it in a safe, drop it at the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah.
Why are you putting it there on display?
Try that in Jumanji. We know how that ended.
Yes.
A leprechaun with drums. Yeah.
So, yeah, so they're pissed. By the way, we find out like Stray Bullet apparently Mac Daddy knew his mother.
Or you just dumb like your mom, so I got to come over there and bitch smack you like I used to do her.
That's a weird flex.
He goes to like jump at him, and his friend's like, no. He's like, yeah, don't even try it. Get your asses out of here now.
Check yourself, you loser
So-
motherfucker.
so-
Get out.
They come up with the brilliant idea to burglarize
To-
Ice-T's place.
To rob Ice-T, the guy who's going will kill you.
Burglarize.
Oh.
Robbing is if there's like a burgling is if you
They
break
have
into
guns.
the place. But it's if you break into the place where there's no there's like a difference. It was explained in Ant-Man 1.
Saw it once. Don't remember.
There's weapons.
Yes. Yeah, they're gonna be robbing in the hood. Did you know that they were in the hood? Have we established that yet?
Did you know they're up to no good?
They're up to no good.
It ain't nothing but a hip hop thing, baby.
They keep saying that. That's their justification.
Okay. This movie's not shot the best.
You don't say.
For a direct-to-video, I think it looks
There-
okay.
But like there is a long uninterrupted take where like the two are hanging out and then Postmaster comes and it's all from far away and I'm like
They're like, who is that? Who is that?
and I'm like this is a bad scene and then
Yeah.
I was like oh do you know why? I'm looking in the background I'm like the sun's setting. They don't have time to do multiple camera setups so they said fuck it. Cause I guess there's a scene later on in that same location. They're
Yeah.
like, we got to reset for the night shot. Let's just get it before the sun goes down. Just one shot, baby. And I'm like, oh, because no other scene is like that in one long take.
Yeah.
And it's like if you're gonna do a long take, you have to make it like visually pleasing or something
Yeah, dynamic,
interesting.
yeah.
Not
Plan
just
for it.
not just here's a shot and we're gonna pan over a little bit and then zoom onto the ground. It's like, oh, the sun was going down. They're like, we don't have enough time to get it all in one
Yeah,
shot.
we knew you'd come.
And like the whole, right.
Which,
Because
look,
originally he's like, oh, I don't want to do this. This is fucked up. And then he walks in, oh, we're brothers. Let's do it.
Yeah, for
Look,
being,
I'm
for
sure-
being the harbinger of positivity, he sure doesn't hesitate to pick up a gun and fucking shoot somebody.
Yeah, he really throws his morals out the window a lot. So they ransack the place.
They kick the door down. They're not even trying to be quiet.
They literally kick the door down.
Yes.
Okay.
And then
There's
Ice-T
no security. There's no
Yeah, I
cameras.
was gonna say,
or anything.
Ice-T shows up without his bodyguard. He's like,
He-
hello? And they just shoot him.
He comes in. He's like, what the fuck? See ya.
It's knocking books off the wall. Was it for a
Well,
safe?
Oh wait, that's what it is. They put bombs on the. Butch puts fucking like
What is this,
C4
24?
around
Yeah.
the Leprechaun case, and he's like, "Fire in the hole, motherfuckers!" and blows it up as Ice-T comes in, and Postmaster P shoots Ice-T.
'cause it scares him, yeah.
because
Yes.
it scares the shit out of him.
Yes. So they take the flute.
And the chassis of gold that they take.
Yes, but then they also
Again, Postmaster P takes the flute
yeah, he takes the flute.
off the dead man.
Oh, yeah,
It's
he, like,
calling
goes
to
through the
him.
body.
It's calling to him, much like the One Ring.
Oh yeah.
I'm pretty sure they knew. Trimark. They were like, you know what? I hear they're doing Lord of the Rings. We should probably beat them to the punch. We'll also have a magical gold thing that calls to people.
Do you think while he's like blowing it, he sees the Eye of Sauron the entire
Yes.
time?
Oh, probably yeah. Everything, yeah, when that sound goes out, everything turns like
White-
gray and
yeah,
shit.
yeah.
He sees
So-
the fucking ghost of like Eazy-E and shit.
Okay,
I need that flute.
so I'm a little confused
Yeah.
by what the leprechaun knows and doesn't know.
About
Because he wakes up, he's been frozen since the 70s. I
can he
believe.
still hear when he's a stone?
No,
statue?
no. Because if he can hear, he's asking weird questions later on that he should know the answer to if he's able to hear. But he literally mentions Tiger Woods.
Unhand me gold, you thieving hoods. You got more loot than Tiger Woods.
Yeah, what was that about?
This movie, I'm going to reference another movie that this reminds me of heavily, and Joe might already know what I'm talking about before I even say it. Rumpelstiltskin. Because in that movie, very different films. Besides, an actor that's also short like Warwick in makeup.
No, he's actually a regular sized guy.
Is he real? Was he
Max
hunched over?
Schroden chick? Yeah. He's
From he was what's his face in Star Trek?
yeah, he was a Ferengi.
the Frankie guy.
Ah, yes.
Anyway, that's not the point of my
Yeah.
my story.
Yeah.
Where he is also a character, much like Lubden, that he just knows shit he shouldn't know.
Yeah.
And it's just like it's funny, so you kind of roll with
Look,
it.
look, it's fine if it's like the Genie and Aladdin thing. But then later on, he's just like, what's rap music? I'm like, if you were in that location for that long, you would have heard rap music before you
Wow.
heard Tiger Woods.
Also, you cannot tell me that this leprechaun, in the however many hundreds of years that he's been alive, has never smoked the sweet leaf, man. I don't buy it.
He smoked-
Well, we don't know. Again, we don't know when he was put there. He might have landed in California from God knows where, and immediately got
From
transformed.
Ireland?
Again, Rumpelstiltskin comes to mind. Same
Well,
shit.
this is also true. Yeah, maybe.
But that's a great point, Tony. Yeah, how the fuck? Other than it's like kind of funny for Warwick to say this stuff.
Yes.
Rumpelstiltskin's also a better film than this.
Easily.
Yeah.
Fucketh me.
Ice-T, yeah, you're right. Ice-T panics and smokes a joint, and the leprechaun
In a
is real
bathroom.
interested in it. And
He tells everyone to get the fuck out.
Yeah, okay. In the third movie, he has no qualms of killing that Indian guy.
yes.
Oh, yeah.
Biting his finger off, where's my gold, whatever.
Yes.
This, he's like, hey, Ice-T, remember when you locked me up? It's cool.
For 30
Get my
years.
flute back or whatever,
Get my flute back for me. It's like,
and I'm going to smoke your weed.
yeah, that's a little bizarre.
Come on. That's like the best line in the movie.
Well, no, but
Yeah.
the line is great.
No, yeah, the
The
bomb,
context
yeah.
of the scene is weird, but yes.
A friend with weed is a friend indeed.
Bomb stuff's good, too, because he says it later.
The
yeah.
bomb?
Yes.
I think he twists Ice-T's fucking finger off. It's great.
Oh,
Yeah.
he breaks his finger. Yeah, but it's like finger licking good from the second one, which is so, or the third one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Just real quick.
Yeah.
When they're in Ice-T's place, they shoot the shit out of Lubden or Warwick Davis,
Yes.
and they like blow his fucking arm off.
oh, yeah.
Yes.
It's really cool.
Yes, and then
it's
it
like
crawls
some of
back-
the best effect
it
in the
crawls
movie.
back
Yeah.
to him. It's like, but yeah, this is when he learns about gangster rap. He's listening to it. I don't think they're playing it loud enough because
Yeah.
I think he likes it because of the rhyming. Not that other music doesn't have rhyming, but whatever.
This is also like that weird editing Joe was talking about where they're like, yeah, a scene that's over the end credits, which I enjoy, should have totally been right here.
I have
Yeah.
that
For plot
note. Yes,
reasons.
yes.
Yeah.
There's a whole Yeah, I have that in my notes. I'm like, that's always bothered me. I'm like, that clearly was supposed
He's gotta
and
kill
it
the
should
DJ
have been
first.
early in the
I
movie.
think it was supposed to be there because we
Yeah,
see
no, it was.
we see
Yeah,
the
yeah.
fly zombie girls like very
Yeah,
soon.
yeah.
But he kills that DJ first with the microphone. He like electrocutes
Yeah.
it.
Man, I thought that was Miguel Nunez Jr. for a second.
No, he was
for
in the
like 2
previous-
seconds.
He was in the previous one.
He was, yeah.
He was in space.
Yes.
He survived to the end.
Maybe he did, yeah.
Yeah.
He fought Mitten Spider.
He did not survive Carnosaur 2. Sadly.
No, he
No.
did not.
He did
Or
not.
Friday the 13th Part 5.
No, he didn't survive that either.
Or Return of the Living Dead.
No.
No, he survived Street Fighter.
And
He survived Joanna Man.
and he survived Pluto Nash as well. Oh, God.
Maybe not career wise. Never really bounced back from that.
Surprised
You
not
know
getting
what's-
those royalty checks.
You know what's funny? I was following him for a bit. I don't know if I still follow him. He's definitely one of those like really liberal guys, but 90s liberals that's not up to date on what new liberals are for. Because he's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
guys, I'm trying to do Joanna Man too, and I'm like, oh Miguel, no, don't.
It doesn't
No,
hold up,
no,
brother.
Miguel, do not even attempt this. Don't attempt this.
The first one was already like borderline, not, you know.
Perfect. I agree, Sean. I'm sure that's what you were gonna say. I love it.
Exactly.
I'm partial to ladybugs.
I remember.
I like Tootsie.
She's the man. She's the man. That was another one.
She's the man. I don't remember that one.
That's the Amanda Bynes one.
Yeah, the man of
Soccer. or
There
some
was a funny
bullshit.
tweet I saw where someone said they should remake it as Days the Them, and I'm like, that would actually be really funny.
I think they just came out with that, right? With Kevin Bacon.
I still to this day will randomly call Joanna Man.
I'm sure she loves that.
I was like, Joanna Man. Like occasionally I'll still do it.
One of the best comedies of swapping sexes is Just One of the Guys. That movie.
Oh,
fucking
you know
Is
what?
that the one at
rules.
the end when that chick
So
shows her
good.
tits?
Yeah.
You know,
it's great.
You know who told me I have to have him on the show again? I asked him what other movie he would want to do, and he said that, and it was the Blue Meanie. We should have the Blue Meanie to talk about just one of the guys.
One of the guys.
Set that up, Tony.
Yes.
So anyway,
The Chow Dance.
this. Well, before the chow, this is my problem with the film, and I was telling you before this. There's too many fucking scenes about them trying to figure out the flute.
Are
When
you telling me this isn't a perfect movie?
I'm telling you, it's not a perfect. So he plays the flute, and everyone in the pawn shop is hypnotized at first. And it's like, okay. Oh, I get it. It must have like a trance or something. And they're like, okay, now we have to go to Chow's place and do the same thing. Only now Chow is dancing, and he stops and he's hypnotized. It's like, okay, got it.
He's shaking his groove thing.
We got it. Oh, the flute, it has some kind of hypnotizing power. And we're going to get to a couple other scenes, but don't worry.
They'll
They'll do that scene again.
4 or 5 more times.
They don't get to it till like 3/4 of the way through the movie, and then he's like, "Oh!"
But like as the audience, it's like, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I'm aware. Can we move on? I am aware. Can we move on?
It's not good writing.
Also, I really think they should have got Chow to dance in their music video.
Why
I think
not?
It would have been great.
Fuck it.
Nah, child, I don't think we gonna be having you in our video, you know what I'm saying?
Also, they're spreading their money around that they stole from Ice-T.
Is that actor still? Is Chow still alive? Is that actor alive?
No, he actually did die in 2017.
Shit!
77.
I was gonna say we could start a positivity rap group and we'll get that guy to dance in our video.
Hey,
Fuck that, we're getting James Hong, baby.
There's 97. He's still
kicking.
97.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
He's
Hey,
fucking Lopan at this point. He needs to suck the fucking juice out of some green-eyed Chinese
God.
girls.
I
Hi,
was-
James Hong. Can we have you dance on our music video? He's like, is this SAG? I'm like, no, it's not SAG. Use a different name. Like, I'm James Hong. Get out of here.
Oh my God. I mean, we could AI it.
That's true.
No, the man vehemently against AI. No.
Yeah.
That's the joke.
So the pawn shop guy, he just stops in his car.
Well, first he's in like the alley by his like house or some shit.
Yes.
Oh my God.
And Lupton walks up to him and he's like, get the fuck out of
Yeah.
here.
I ain't buying no fucking Halloween costumes, little
Yeah.
kid. The editing is total dog shit here.
It's a real clunky movie. It's paced very poorly and it's clunkily edited.
All the kills for Jackie D and the kills for Chow are like what? They were afterthoughts.
Yeah, they're like, there's a lot of just, the kills are not really clever. Whereas the last movie, a guy got a pan shoved in his head and he turned into a pancake face.
Which was great.
That was perfect.
Gets drop dead Fred.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's in the car.
Yeah, he's in the car and then he's like, oh my God, that girl I liked she's still the same age she was years ago.
Which I'm sure Stray Bullet's mom. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it's her.
Maybe. And she's like, I miss you so much. She's like, I miss you too, baby. And he says it over and over again.
And they're like,
because
it's like close-up shots of them like touching
it felt
each
like
other.
it was different takes, but then they just use each take, so he's repeating himself.
It's like a Tim and Eric thing, man.
Yeah, but then it's just like, it's like, wait, they're like, he's like, oh wow, that girl, she looks like that girl. I'm gonna have sex with her right now in the middle of the street. It's like,
He stops the car and gets out.
like, okay, buddy, you want to like pull over? Like, what the?
This is also another time where they just decide, well, Leprechaun did something similar in previous movies, but let's change it just for the fuck of it. Where
Yeah.
he used to transform into women, and I think it was like 2 or 3.
Two
is great.
two and 4.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But
He
this
did it,
one,
he did it in 2. Remember?
Thank you.
Yeah, remember in 2?
Oh, right, yeah,
In
yeah.
2, she's like, look at my boobs. The guy's like, I'm gonna touch your boobs. It was actually a lawnmower.
Well, he made the lawnmower, and he does that in 3
Yeah,
with
yeah.
the
But in-
electric mannequin.
and 4 he does it to the guy who gets the face pancaked.
Yes. But yeah, then this one, it's like, okay, so she's like halfway turning into a leprechaun, but then we never see. I don't think we ever see
in the
Warwick
trunk.
Davis in a wig.
He's in
No.
the trunk.
Yeah, he's okay.
He's like in there, like,
if
So
you
that's
if you
weird.
look at the trunk footage,
Yeah.
and then later when he's in a safe, it's
Same.
the same
It's the
fucking
same.
footage. And they were like, "Okay, Warwick, get in this fucking little box, and we're gonna shoot like all this
that's
bullshit."
that's like in the previous film where they blow up Mitten Spider, and then when they blow up the leprechaun, it's the footage of Mitten Spider,
Oh, yeah.
but it's tinted green.
But that's okay. I'm okay with that. Still looks like dog shit.
It is. They should.
4 is great.
That reminds
I
me.
gotta rewatch it.
It's
That,
so
reminds,
good.
that reminds me of I actually reviewed Star Trek 6. Star Trek 6 when they blow up the bird of prey, and then in Generations they reuse the shot of the bird of prey blown up. But I think they might have flipped it.
Oh,
It's like
well,
it's
yeah.
a new ship. It's like, oh, it just blew up the exact same way, upside down. Good job,
whatever.
Star Trek.
Yeah, sure.
So yeah, Ice-T wants his flute back, and he's
He
gonna
really
kill
does.
them.
But he's not But he's working for the Leprechaun. But he's not
Kind
or
of.
something.
But I love he goes to shoot him and forgets he doesn't have a finger.
He's like, "Oh, I'm a fucking finger."
Oh, yeah, he finds him on like that rooftop.
Look. It's a fresh injury. He probably has that phantom feeling.
Yes.
Okay.
He went to go pick his nose and just went, poof,
Oh, yeah.
hit himself with a bloody stump.
I love how they jump off this fucking roof into the fucking movie dumpster.
They went right into the
Yeah, they
movie
went-
dumpster, dude.
They went right into the movie dumpster.
And then Ice-T tells his bodyguard, who's just standing there doing nothing, shoot them, asshole!
He misses all of them, maybe because he's wearing
the
his
guy-
fucking sunglasses
Look
at
the
night.
Blues Brothers?
The guy up there is like, I can't shoot him. What if I shoot that copy of Unknown Origin? I don't want to do that. They're in the movie dumpster.
It's true.
That copy of Unknown Origin is next to a regular sized rat in that dumpster.
I mean, it's a
Oh,
pretty
it's-
big rat. It's,
It's
just not
a
a giant rat.
It's the size of the dumpster. It's food of the gods size.
Is the leprechaun like a giant man on the Joe Lascola scale?
Yes, he is a giant man. He's a giant leprechaun. Because
Queen Alien, obviously.
yeah.
According to 4.
Anyway,
According to according to Leaping Leprechauns and Darby O'Gill and the Little People, Warwick Davis is a giant fucking leprechaun.
okay.
Comparatively so, sure.
Yes.
I.e., the rat from Unknown Origin is a giant rat compared to a regular rat.
He's a bit.
Oh, hold on. You've never made that argument about it until now.
That's the whole argument.
You just said this is a giant rat. It's the size of a dog. Now it's compared to a regular rat.
It's not that big.
It's the fucking size of a Yorkie.
Compared to a regular rat, I will finally contest, yes, it's a giant rat, but this is the first time I've ever heard this
I'm
part
sorry.
of the argument.
I'm sorry. What was I comparing the rat size to?
Anyway.
Sorry, Tony.
Go back and listen to that episode.
Yes.
I wasn't comparing the rat size to a dog as saying like, well, it's big for a dog.
Yeah, you're like, it's an English Mastiff.
It's big for
Anyway,
a rat.
Go back and watch that episode.
Yes,
anyway,
on Movie
anyway,
Dumpster.
That's on Movie Dumpster. So,
Leprechaun.
Our heroes. they go to a lovely lady's house and they ask her for help. What's her name? Fontaine?
Fontaine.
Yes, Fontaine. They go to her.
Another scene that really holds up well
Is
in
it La
2023.
Fontaine or Fontaine?
It might be La Fontaine.
There's a fucking clear dong right on the desk there for you. Just in case you were
You can
wondering.
see her ass cheeks, too.
Yeah.
Well, look, she's a lady with needs.
Yes.
But yeah, so they need her help with. What are they trying to get her help for?
They need a place to lay low because Mac
Okay.
Daddy is after them.
Okay, and her place is safe.
And they're like, Mac Daddy knows everybody. I guess except for this woman.
I feel like Mac Daddy wouldn't hang out with this lady. I feel like that's not really
That's
on the
where he
list
draws
of
the
ladies.
line?
Yeah. You know, Joe, something about this lady tells me that they're not Mac Daddy's type.
It's not the Leprechaun's type either.
The jokes these guys are making tells me they're not, Mac Daddy's type.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so they decide to play the rap for her.
Yeah.
And then the guy is outside. He's like, stop it. And then he just starts chucking glass bottles at them. And I'm like, that's a little.
Turn this shit down, trying to sleep.
Yeah.
And that's when Postmaster P's like, man, we suck.
Yes, yes. And then,
guys, the flute, it works.
if we blow the flute, people will like us. Because then the guy comes out, he's like, play that again. And then remember, they're trying to lay low. Yeah. So they're blasting about the power of positivity at a big party. It turns into like a block party or something.
Everybody's clapping and shit, and they're just like with this horrible rap they're spitting.
What
the fuck are they saying?
Don't ask me.
I don't even remember.
Not good.
There's like a catchphrase. There's like a chorus to keep doing.
Yes, you are.
I'm just gonna add in the lyrics to give me that Christian side hug. Anyway,
well, we do it. We get a Jesus one later, which I like. I like
that's
that
true.
rap,
That's
yeah.
true. That's true. We do.
He's my hoe or something.
So yeah, this lady needs to get laid, and she stumbles on the leprechaun.
Yeah.
And she's totally into it. Anyone else would go, "Oh my god, what is that?"
Just her size.
Just her size. Very specific size. The leprechaun's like, okay.
I'm not here for your fruits or whatever the fuck he says.
Oh my god! Another joke that holds up great.
Was that a joke? I didn't get it.
I didn't get it either. I thought he was talking about her melons.
I thought it was a cucumber.
Oh no! Is a cucumber a fruit?
I think it's a vegetable.
Don't overthink it.
This is fruits and vegetable talks.
Holy Unact the movies, Leprechaun.
We're talking about
review.
Leprechaun's preferences.
Yes.
True.
So they think...
Dude, they think she's having the time of her life in there.
Yeah, but actually she's being strangled.
Leprechaun...
I think his dick was in there a little bit, honestly.
I think...
the tip.
I mean, it could have been. He was on top, so maybe it was in him a little bit.
Either or.
But as far as the choking stuff goes, like, Leprechaun chokes Chow.
Yes.
Chokes Fontaine.
Yes.
And I think he chokes like one other person. And that's like his method of dispatch. Like, that's how they die.
Can we talk about Chow real quick?
Oh, you mean with like the thumb and the hand on the side?
Yeah.
That's going around his
Well,
neck?
it's clearly not Warwick Davis.
Yeah.
And then they just like keep cutting back to Chow. And like you were saying earlier, clearly he's like an insert scene where like there's a POV shot that's supposed to be the leprechaun.
Yeah.
And it's obviously not.
Yeah.
And then there's like, they cut back after this scene just so you know what happened to Chow, I guess, and his head and his hands
They're in
and
like
everything.
the jars.
Are in the formaldehyde. It's like, all right, sure.
You know what pissed me off? He didn't lick his finger and say, I love Chinese food.
Well, they didn't have Warwick Davis because they did it in post.
Joe, that would be very problematic. And
They did it in the Leprechaun 3.
The writers of this film, they learned from Leprechaun 3, and they're like, hey, we're going to be a little bit more racially sensitive in Leprechaun.
Yeah. We tossed all that out and brought in all the homophobic jokes
I was going to
instead.
say, but we'll just be extra homophobic in this.
Yeah, I bet like 2000, they're like, it's okay to make fun of them. It's like that, this will age well.
But yeah, you're right, Tony. And then like Leprechaun, he's walking around the room after he kills the woman.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh shit. They're like hiding in the bathroom. Like, you have no escape route. What are you thinking?
Butch makes a fucking napalm bomb out of a heating pad and some KY jelly.
He's like, if you put these together, and I'm like,
he's like, you put the shit and then
where
you put
did
the jelly.
learn all this? So
He learned it from Peter Billingsley in Death Valley.
Yeah.
That's where he learned it from.
So they get out of there, and they hide in a church, and the preacher says, hey, well, you can stay here, but you got to sing for everyone. And guys, you'll never.
And they got to give him $50.
And
Yeah,
$50.
$50 in a song.
You'll never believe what happens in this scene. They really, really suck. And then he blows the flute, and then everyone thinks they're good, including Coolio, who just happened to be
Coolio
That's
shows up.
funny.
Coolio.
Dude, his ass was on his way to Daniel Baldwin's cell to let him have sex with his fiance.
From In Pursuit.
Yeah.
It might still be on YouTube.
Could be.
Go watch
Then
it.
he's gonna go to the big Universal thing and sing with Keenan and Kel.
And
He's
then
hitting up that big orange couch at some point.
There's a scene where he talks to the leprechaun, and the leprechaun's like, hey, I've been to space. And Coolio's like, you know what? I think in the year 3000, I'm going to go meet Dracula up there.
There you go.
Coolio's already been in space. He smokes so much goddamn weed.
Have you seen Dracula 3000?
No.
I've heard it's fucking horrible.
So the cover's got
I think
this
it's
like,
ripe.
The cover's got this like Giger looking.
Yeah, I do remember the cover. Yeah.
Yeah. So you see, like, it's space.
Was that Wes Craven? Dracula
No,
2000?
that's Dracula
2000,
That's
right?
Dracula 2000,
Yeah,
and
not to
then there are
confuse
two
the two.
sequels to that. Dracula 3000 is a direct-to-video Dracula movie.
Yes.
And like you're like, okay, it's space, it's the future. I wonder what this Dracula would look like. It's traditional cape suit Dracula running around a spaceship, which is actually kind of funny. Coolio turns into a vampire. But back to this movie.
Oh, okay.
Glad to see.
Yeah.
Well, they
he didn't die. He just went home.
They hand the collection bin around, and he's like, "Yeah, the Lord doesn't like cheap people. Empty your pockets."
But yeah, the song is
Fucking
like
rap, dude.
the song is like Jesus loved me, this I know. I'm gonna kill a mofo.
It's like
Slap
Jesus.
a
I
hoe.
don't know if he loves me. The apostles were some bad mofos.
Okay.
Mary wasn't a hoe or something.
This
funny.
this
Yeah, Mary
gag
Magdalene, right?
Pretty funny.
this
Yes.
gag was pretty good.
Which one?
When Ice finds him at the church and they hide in the room.
Right.
Meanwhile, Ice-T and his bodyguard can hear them screaming.
Yeah, okay, so this is weird. The Ice-T, he doesn't look behind him because he thinks they're lying.
Right.
He's like, blow their heads off, and then Leprechaun's like, did you say blow? Hallelujah. And then he blows a hole in the
Oh,
bodyguard.
he gets Jesse Ventura, man, like straight up.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, I guess he just why don't you just spontaneously blow them all up?
He's like, I don't know, maybe he has like a power meter and it has to recharge
I don't
every time he
understand
blows
the
somebody up.
Leprechaun's powers in these. I know if you
Does
pee on-
anybody? Oh,
if you pee on him, he can clone himself inside your dick.
Don't piss on a leprechaun's
I
corpse.
know if he's talking to you on the phone, he can make a little hand come out of the phone.
Freddy style.
He can teleport sometimes
When he wants to.
when he wants to.
Yeah. Depends.
he get big when he wants to.
And he's also very
Well, no, Sean.
Oh, that was a ray. I
He
forgot.
can't
Excuse
get
me.
big when he wants to. That's because the shrinking, enlarging ray hit him.
Right, I forgot. The obvious Honey, I Shrunk the Kids sequel.
Please get it right. You're making,
it blew up
You're
the leprechaun.
embarrassing yourself on the Leprechaun of the Hood
Yeah.
episode.
Honey, I blew up
Whoops.
the Lubden.
I'd pay money to see that shit. Walking around like Chicago.
Leprechaun 4.
He's like stepping on people. Oh my god. I'm huge.
So suddenly, was the safe wrought iron?
That's what. Okay, so this is the same gag from the second movie.
Yes.
And
But done way worse.
It's terrible.
Because I'm like, well, the safe in the second movie worked because of the wrought iron.
And that's what hurt him. That
Yes.
was the edge. That was the edge that
Which
he
was
had.
kind of brought up in 3 a little bit, I think. But then
Yeah.
it's just like, what?
He has zero weaknesses in this besides that necklace.
Yeah. And I'm like, can't he just teleport out of the thing or whatever? But no,
Not
he's
when he's
stuck
trapped
in there.
inside something.
Now-
he's like Munchie.
This is the really confusing part. He apparently has zombie fly girls,
Right.
which they don't establish.
There
was a scene, and they put it in the credits.
right, but there's a scene before where he's like sitting at a bar and you see them all like passed out around him
Yeah. And you don't understand why.
No.
Exactly.
because he fucked them all to death.
Yes.
Not them.
We're not there yet. But yeah, their plan is to still go to the Vegas competition with their flute magic, which they can't sample. So they need the flute.
Yeah, they can't
on
record
stage.
it because they were
Right.
gonna record it and then be like, yeah, here you go.
No. And then the guy's like, the preacher's like, what about the leprechaun in my safe? They're like, when we become big and famous in Vegas, we'll come back and deal with it. I'm like,
We'll give you money too.
what the fuck? It's like, dude, did you have anything in that safe? It looks pretty empty. Just throw it away.
He was taking shit out of it and putting it in his pocket.
Also,
true.
what was the combination? 1, 2, 3.
It's the same
That's
combination
true,
of my
that's
luggage.
true.
Like, how
So,
did
yeah.
the fly girls get him out?
So yeah, they're like, okay, goodbye, preacher.
Scene missing.
Keep an eye on that leprechaun. We got to go rap. And they rap. They're playing their flute. Everyone loves it. And then I have it in my notes here. I'm like, oh, white guy shows up. I'm like, oh, wow. I didn't realize, like, besides Warwick Davis, who's a monster man, there hasn't been, like, a white man in this.
Dude, he
Couple
looks like,
extras,
He
that's
looks like
about it.
Ned Ryerson from Groundhog Day, and he's
With
just
the
like
fur coat?
Yeah, with the fur coat.
I
And he's just
love
like,
he's
you
just like-
guys are the best.
He's like, yes, I am white man.
Yeah,
And,
you
you
homies
really-
are really hip, yo.
Yes, he should have been even cheesier.
They're like, I'm the head of the biggest
I'm with
hip hop
it.
record
what he
album
says.
place.
But I love he leaves. They're like feeling themselves. They're high fiving,
Yeah.
not thinking about that Ice-T and the Leprechaun are coming after him for a second.
Yeah,
you gotta celebrate, okay? So the
the
leprechaun.
small victories.
It costs them.
So the zombie fly girl.
Dope Discs Productions, by the way.
That's what it
the
was,
white
yeah.
guy with his
The
fucking
zombie
like,
fly girl.
Dolomite ass suit on.
This is weird. The zombie fly girl shows up at the church, and
To-
it's like,
to let him
oh,
out, yeah.
another sinner. It's like, what? Just because the way she's dressed, you're making a lot of assumptions.
I mean-
preacher.
Also, this old decrepit fat man is gonna like try to put the moves on this like 23-year-old.
That's the
it happens,
implication.
it happens more often than you
Let
would think.
Jesus
Joe.
save your booty. But you're the what does he say? Some shit about this tongue.
Yeah, he speaks in tongues.
Yes, I speak the best.
So,
I love how they walk in and they're immediately like, oh yeah, like the venue gave us these women to fuck or something. Like I don't know what they're thinking.
yeah, that just happens. I'm sure maybe.
Well,
it does.
Maybe not on that level.
Well, the thing implied here is that she comes in, there's that altercation, and then like Lubden is out of the safe now because the zombie fly girl let him out? ?
Yes.
And punches a fucking hole through the preacher.
Yes. They really love that punching hole thing.
It's
So
cheap
yeah,
to
the
do.
leprechaun shows up and Post reluctantly gives the flute because he's like controlling Stray Bullet, who then points the gun at Butch.
Which is a cool thing. I like that.
Yes. But then Post gets angry. He's really making a turn to the dark side.
no longer a hero.
He's no longer a hero.
Anti-hero, maybe.
He lived long enough to see himself become the villain.
There you go, Tony.
Yes.
The P became an N for negativity. Yeah.
Postmaster negativity.
Postmaster
Oh my God.
negativity.
So he gets angry at the leprechaun and he makes Stray Bullet kill himself.
That was a good one.
Very deep, very deep.
I don't know what he was thinking.
Dude, the leprechaun says some cold ass shit to him. He's like, yeah, by the way, now that I got the flute, now you can live with yourself where you could have almost been famous, but now you're going to be a poor motherfucker for the rest of your life. Bye.
Yep.
Which is, I mean, I'd go after him
So,
too.
so they're back at the big lot where they had the really long take earlier.
Yeah.
They-
They leave his buddy in a fucking car.
That's Postmaster P's grandma's car.
Yeah. Okay,
Well,
so
she's not driving.
Wow.
so Butch is
I know, yeah.
Butch is like, man, go home, give up and go home.
He can go to school. He can go get a job. And
Yeah,
be
Butch is like,
successful.
what am I doing? I'm just gonna go get a job.
I'm a chemist.
Dude, that guy could be
So,
making
okay.
bank.
Yeah.
So now the
Working for a
leprechaun,
makeup company or something.
Yeah. Now the leprechaun is auditioning Fly Girls, or the
The leprechaun's casting couch.
yeah. And then we have the whole scene with Post's grandmother, which
Yes.
again feels added because there's no reason for the leprechaun to go.
Well, it's
there.
a dream sequence, but yeah.
I feel like there's
No, he doesn't. It's all a dream within a dream within a dream.
Yeah.
Oh, then this definitely added in Post.
Yeah.
No, there's a couple different scenes.
Okay.
There's the one where they do go to his grandma's house. That actually does happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then he falls asleep on the couch and he has the dream about Leprechaun coming to
Yes.
see his grandma. What I think happened is there was probably a scene that either got cut or was never shot where she had one of his doubloons or shillings or whatever the fuck.
Okay.
And then he killed her, but we don't ever find that out. It's just like, oh, he's sleeping.
Well, it makes sense for him to go to the apartment because wherever the flute is at, just like in the other movies with
It
the
calls
gold,
to him.
It calls,
It calls to him,
So
yeah.
like that's why he kills Chow and that's why he kills Jackie D. So he
It-
could kill Grandma, but she cooked him up some nice soul food, but then
It's
poked
true.
his fucking eye out.
Well, just real quick, because I don't want to skip this part because it is important. Before he has the dream, he has another scene. Actually, this is before the other guy gets shot at grandma's. So maybe we're a little out of order. It doesn't matter. Yeah. Where he finally goes, oh my God, the flute really works. I never believed you till now. Because he gets like Butch while he's eating the soup to turn around.
Oh yeah, that was weird. And again, another scene where it's like, guys, we know about the flute. Stop
Twice.
telling us
Yeah,
about
yeah.
the flute.
But he shows him in that scene and then shows him at the church and he's like, believe me now? It's like,
Yeah,
you believe
yeah.
him before.
But did the writer write like 5 different scenes about a flute, and they said let's just use all of them?
I feel like this was shot in like 2 weeks.
Had
And they
to
were
be,
like,
right?
let's just cover everything. And then
Yeah.
at some point,
It
somebody,
feels, by the way,
somebody
this-
spilt the fucking coffee on the shot list.
Yeah, this is the last one Trimark put out, by the way. I think it went to someone else for I don't know if you have Back to the Hood.
I don't have Back to the Hood.
I think it went to someone else. Which I don't know why.
Lionsgate.
Lionsgate.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
I don't know why this was the last one they did. I mean, this screener copy used to sell the tape to video stores is really hyping it up. I thought they really liked it.
You get a Leprechaun standee if you buy 5 of them.
What?
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Can we still get that? Can we call Trimark? Like,
wish.
hey, can we still get the standee?
I'm sure they got that shit in a warehouse, right? It's all dusty.
But yeah, going back to the dream sequence, we get that like kind of classic cliche where it's the dream within a dream, like you were saying, Tony. Where he sees what's that other guy that got shot himself?
Stray Bullet.
Stray Bullet comes to the door like a zombie, and he's and he screams. And then he finally gets up. He goes to leave, and Butch is at the door like fucking Janosch in Ghostbusters 2.
Yeah, with the lights.
Yeah.
So he
I
has
hear
a
a
plan.
wooing in there.
He has a plan. He's like, hey, look,
Leprechaun
Leprechaun
for dummies.
Yes, Leprechaun.
They couldn't spend another fucking 5 minutes on that goddamn. You could see the crease line where they just taped it over the fucking cover.
Yes.
5 minutes to
They
fix
should
that.
have used the little computer program from
Yeah.
the third one. But no, he comes in. He's like, hey, leprechauns, their weakness is 4-leaf clovers and other things. But for this movie, 4-leaf clovers.
Well, and we learn in the first movie, which is the only other movie to use the 4-leaf clover thing, it will kill them if it's like on him.
Yeah.
Or if he
I
ingests
mean, well,
it.
now that Leprechaun returns as Kanan, we know that it doesn't kill them. It just incapacitates them for 20
don't
years.
like that movie.
I enjoyed it. It was fun. It was fun.
Yeah, it's Warwick or bust for me.
It would have been better with Warwick. I mean, dude, Leprechaun Origins.
That doesn't even count. That's like
I'm
a
really-
WWE spin-off movie.
I'm really not even. It's me. So I have a
Chupacabra.
I have a commentary track for every Leprechaun movie
And Origins?
and Origins, not Returns. I did this one with Akinola, who was in our Die Hard is a Christmas Die Hard, but it's a Christmas movie.
Carl
He's a very
Winslow.
nice man.
Yes. He was Sergeant Alpal.
That's Carl Winslow.
So I did that with Kira in Leprechaun Origins, and we have a theory that Hornswoggle isn't even in that
No,
movie.
he's not. He's not.
He's
he's
like,
not
no,
in
they
a
just put his
costume.
name in the credits. It's
Maybe
not
some
in-
VO, if anything.
I think
No,
originally.
it's not even that.
That's
They're
bad.
like goblins. They're not actual
Yeah.
They're like monsters.
Hence Chupacabra.
Yeah, it's bad.
But,
anyway,
but like, I think the plan before that was for him to be like, do like a Warwick Davis thing, and then they were just like, nah, we're gonna do this stupid
we're gonna
creature
do.
thing.
We bought another movie, and we're changing a few lines here. and
Pretty
there.
much.
Sure.
Anyway. So they're like, yeah, we're gonna make him smoke the 4-leaf clover with the weed.
It's pretty great.
And that'll incapacitate him. We can get the flute and the whatever and do whatever. So they're like, we got to infiltrate the club. He's like, he brings girls in there all the time, but they never come back. I think he's fucking them to death. And I was like, oh Jesus Christ, I know Leprechaun's a bad guy, but I'm like, that's really
Also, not
bad.
the first movie where that's been implied that he does
Also,
that.
the Leprechaun
Yeah.
usually just wants his gold, and then he's like, all right, goodbye.
Well, he wants a bride in the second one.
In the second one, maybe,
And
but
in
like,
4, he's got the woman that he's like trying to fuck the whole movie.
Well,
that
because he's
betrays
going to
him.
be a king.
well, yeah, because he wants a kingdom and stuff.
true.
But like, I don't know. Like, he's just like, yeah, I want to just hang around in the hood and
Smoke weed and fuck
like,
bitches.
just fuck women to death. And I'm like, wow, this is a really mean leprechaun.
Have we ever talked about Lubden's dick before? That thing's like the Beast House beast dick, right? With it's got the little mouth on it.
I mean, it's definitely come up on our show.
This big fucking honking hog with
Like, one of those tremor
spikes
monsters.
and shit. Yeah, it looks like a graboid in his drawers.
Sean, does this movie paint a good picture of the Irish people?
Like, the only Irish person in it is the fucking leprechaun.
Yeah.
So probably not.
Oh.
He doesn't really drink, though, so there's that.
Yeah, that is weird. He doesn't drink in this one. Well, he switched to grass.
Yeah. Smart man.
He is smart. He is smart.
It's the bomb.
Yeah.
It's the well, he's hitting bongs in the next movie.
Gets you more in trouble with the law, but you know.
Well, in 2000, sure, yeah.
it depends.
So
It's legal in some states.
They're like, we got to infiltrate this club. We got to dress like ladies.
Man.
And Postmaster is like dressing like a sexy lady, and then
Butch looks
fucking
like a grandma.
Butch dresses like one of the church ladies.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't think you're gonna trick the leprechaun.
One of the most awkward scenes of this film is them like doing themselves up to this like R&B track.
It's overkill.
Yeah,
And I'm just
what
that
that
the
was.
fuck, man?
I'm like, someone really enjoyed filming these scenes and writing these scenes. You can tell like the actors aren't super comfortable with it.
But it's also just like this is kind of stupid.
They could have just, like, obviously a different movie altogether, but it's like they could have just done it like Good Burger. They just walk in, they're already in the outfits,
Yeah,
you
and
don't
that's
make
funny.
a big deal out of it.
Yeah.
Instead, it just comes across as like, all right, what is the actual joke here?
Yeah.
Let's not
Again,
try to overthink it.
Well, they
but
have to be sexy.
it
At least
feels-
one of them has to be sexy.
It feels like they're like, we just got to pad this baby out. Just get a lot of coverage of them dressing. Is it on a set? We have controlled lighting. Good. No more outdoor scenes. No more outdoor scenes. If you do an outdoor scene, it's one uninterrupted.
We got the
take.
bar for one more night, and then the warehouse. Yeah.
So yeah, they go there. And they get the leprechaun high, and the leprechaun like wants a blowjob.
Oh,
And
Postmaster P's about to get the Postmaster D
Postmaster
delivered
almost
to his
does
fucking
it.
mouth.
And I was expecting them to do like more lady voices, like ooh.
He doesn't even try.
Yeah, I thought they were gonna like try to like talk him up and stuff, or maybe do a dance like Will Smith of Wild Wild West.
The leprechaun
like
only
that.
wants one thing.
Yeah,
That ass.
That
Yes.
ass.
Let me take a look at you before I tap your ass.
Come over here before I tap you, or whatever the fuck he said.
Give your ass a tap there,
Oh my god.
lass.
I don't know.
I'm so happy Warwick Davis agreed to do this one.
man.
He was probably like, yeah, you know, fuck it, why not?
After space, it was a
Wow.
no-brainer.
I don't know how he doesn't recognize him, but for plot purposes, it is funny as hell.
He gets real close, and you think that he like,
Yeah.
you think
But
he
then he
does.
passes
like
out.
he's like, I know who you are. Get to sucking there,
Well,
laddie.
Dude,
Well-
besides the clover, that had to be some indica in that fucking joint.
Well, think about it. Like, if you look at like if there was like a bunch of dogs here and they're all the same breed, you'd be like, I don't know which one's which. For leprechauns with humans, he's probably like, I don't know, they all look the same to me.
Fair. And
I see how you slipped that one in there, Tone.
Yeah, I'm just saying. It's like, oh, they put a wig on. That's clearly a lady human. Like he doesn't know. He can't focus on the finite details.
He's so ugly himself too.
Well, if
He
that's-
looks extra
that's-
ugly in this,
that's
by the
thing.
way.
The leprechauns, like I said, it's a different leprechaun. But if they were all together, they would be like, hey, you're lubbed in the fourth.
Also, we never mentioned that Greg Bartolos did the fucking effects for this movie.
Gabe,
excuse
Gabe
me.
Bartolos does all the Leprechaun movies
Yeah.
with Warwick Davis.
I mean, I think
Yes.
Warwick looks fucking amazing.
Yeah,
in
he
this.
looks great.
Actually, no, I want to say they really upped the makeup for this. And they changed his outfit, too.
They changed
They
his
changed
out-
him even more in the next one.
Yeah. Oh, he's like in like a black.
Yeah,
kind of like Victorian
really,
garb.
They really,
Yeah.
I'll talk about that one briefly.
Okay. I didn't rewatch that one in preparation.
That's
by
fine.
the
That's
way.
fine. Yeah, so he passes out. They're like, good, let's get the thing. Let's get out of here. And they almost get away. But Ice shows up and he kills Butch.
He blows
He's
this
like-
guy away.
He's like,
Poor guy.
and he's
He
just
died a
like-
virgin
he's like,
in a
"Not-
dress.
Not in a dress.
Not in the dress post.
It's such a sad fucking arc for that character.
Yeah.
He had the most potential out of anybody in the movie.
Yeah.
And there he is on the fucking floor. He could have walked away, but he didn't.
Well, I mean, these are just some of the things that happen in the hood. It wasn't in Boys in the Hood, but if that movie was a little longer, I'm sure a scene like this would
Menace
happen.
to Society.
Where a leprechaun comes in. Yes.
And of course, this is another one of those very long shots, unnecessary long, where Postmaster P is just watching him die, turns to the camera with the tears rolling down, and it's like a solid minute.
Yeah.
This scene. I'm like, all right, Ice-T's just letting you hang out behind that bar the entire
I
time.
was gonna say, Ice-T's let them have their moment.
But then, like, Ice-T tries to call his bluff. He's like, you ain't gonna shoot me, motherfucker. And then he's like, bang.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
oh, you got a little cocky there, Ice-T.
You ain't a gangster, but you looking sexy though.
I mean, he puts 3 in him, man.
That's true. He, like, kills the shit out of
Yeah.
him. Well, not quite.
Well, I love
But
how you
then-
can just see in the background the elevator activating.
Yes. So, Postmaster, he's turned into the green side. And he starts rhyming with the leprechaun.
So wait, he's on the good side, then he's on the dark side, now he's on the green side?
And he's on the West Bank, he's on the East Bank.
Well, I was going to say the dark side, but then I remember in part 3, he's like, come to the green side. And I'm like, okay.
All right, fair enough.
If this is to be Post's last stand, you'll have to take this flute from me cold dead hand.
But did he have a green lightsaber in that one?
No, he had it in the 4th one.
There you go.
So, yeah, they have like a little bit of a rhyme battle, which was
Why?
weird.
Why? Like,
Yeah.
Postmaster P is about to die.
Yes.
For all intents and purposes, right?
Yeah.
So what? We're just gonna like mock the leprechaun and be like, "Oh, if you prayed for my cold dead fingers."
If you knew you were going to die and you had no way out of it, you'd probably make fun of the person who was going to kill you.
I'd probably run. I'd probably do something.
If you couldn't leave,
yeah, I guess.
and you knew the end was here, oh God, the things I would say to people, depending on who they were.
No, I get
Does the
that.
flute work on the leprechaun?
I was thinking that.
No, I think he's immune to it.
Yeah.
They should have at least tried it.
Yeah.
I think
That's what
so.
I was waiting for the blow.
It's like the Wishmaster.
So
when
is
they
Lovely.
try-
He was.
It's like Wishmaster when they try to use like a wish to get one up on him.
He's like, I don't think
depending
so.
on the wish, he's usually like, nah, I ain't working on
Well,
that.
yeah, he's like, that happened in the first movie, not again.
They're like, kill you. And he's like, nah, that doesn't count.
He blows his brains out in the
Yeah.
first
I do love the callback to the earlier scene though, where Ice-T doesn't believe them that the leprechaun's behind him, but now it's the other way around.
Yeah, he's like, I'd have to be as dumb as you.
And then Ice-T cracks a fucking chair over his head.
That
Instead of
balsa
putting-
wood table or chair just.
Instead of putting the necklace on him, he hits him with a fucking chair.
And he looks like so like, yeah, you're fucking done, Leprechaun. And Leprechaun's just like, all right, boom, blows his stomach out.
Yeah, he gets the fucking Jesse Ventura too.
Yeah, he like just spontaneously blow up people's
Blows his
spines.
chest
Like,
out.
just do that to everyone. What are you doing?
The movie would be 5 minutes long if he did
Yeah.
that.
That's true. That's true.
Got my goal.
So
flute.
as he's dying, the necklace falls. Right? Yeah,
Yeah.
he like throws the necklace and then fades to black.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my god, what happened?
Remember the beginning of the movie when it fell on him again?
Yeah.
What happened?
What happened? Then we come out, we see Postmaster P, and he's singing like the worst song. It's like
I finally made my stand.
Yeah.
Now I'm Postmaster P, the man.
Yeah, I made it. I made it. What if you like went to that club, you had no idea who the guy was, and some guy just comes out and like every other lyric is just, I'm awesome. I made it.
The king of the world, yeah, that's me. I'm finally the man that I've been striving to be.
I got news for you. Nobody's in that club.
Dude, I would have been like, woo, because I just heard that fucking flute 5 minutes ago.
This is
But
the
then-
best.
I'm gonna get this guy's record.
We find out.
They're selling them next to the bar.
We find out it's not a happy ending.
No, wait, is it though?
Because Postmaster is under the Leprechaun's spell, but they didn't establish how he hypnotizes people. They're about to establish during the credits when they
Right.
should have established it earlier.
Right.
But he's hypnotized now. And then it cuts to the Leprechaun in like cool shape. This is the only one where the Leprechaun lives. Oh no, returns now.
Yeah.
But this is the only one where the Leprechaun like just survives at the end.
I taught him everything he knows.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like I taught him everything he knows. Like, no, you fucking didn't.
What are you talking about?
If you
It was
were
off
right,
screen. It was off screen.
if you were writing his raps, he'd be out there like, ho, me laddie.
Come from the land of the Irish Spring.
But yeah, so that's how it ends, and then the credits roll, and it's a deleted scene of the Leprechaun rapping.
Man.
Because now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, oh yeah, the Leprechaun like disappears for a while.
Yeah.
This scene should play the song in the credits, sure. But this scene should have been in the movie, in the middle of the movie, because as he's singing, or if you're gonna do it, just cut out all the scenes where he's hypnotized people because you don't need it anymore. But they're showing him hypnotizing all the girls, which is confusing because earlier he's like, my zombie fly girls from hell, and it's like, well, they're not from hell, they're at the party.
They're from the bar.
Yeah.
But we forgot to mention,
I think they're even credited as waitresses.
Yeah, I forget what to mention. He gets the fly girls to smoke the clover,
Yeah.
and they're just like,
Oh, yeah.
we're cured
Left
now.
in the hood come to do no good.
I
I'm
love
better.
this fucking song. Left in the hood, down to do no good. And left in the hood's down to do no good. He's like fucking dancing
Oh,
around.
yeah.
He's killing it.
They're picking him up. They're
picking
putting him on the bar.
It does. I think I know why I cut it out. Once the girls get on stage, their choreography is awful. They are not in sync with each other at all.
They're not in sync singing.
No.
They're not in sync singing
Or
but
dancing.
Specifically, the dancing. Like they're all doing the moves, but they're not timed
Just
right
cut
at
it
all.
down.
Maybe they were like, the pacing's off. Get rid of it. It's like, the pacing's fucked up throughout the whole movie. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. And then it just ends with that song that should have been earlier in the movie because I imagine there's probably some people, not us, who were like, this movie sucks and turned it off before they got to
Yeah.
see the funniest part.
But this is the thing you remember from this movie.
Oh, yeah.
Is
Yes.
Left in the Hood Come to
The
Do No
end
Good.
credits are the
end
thing that you
credits, yeah.
remember. But yes, that's Leprechaun in the Hood.
It sure is.
Where do we land on this one?
Look, I'll tell you something. I watch these every year. Every year we do the Leprechaun Marathon for St. Patty's Day, and along with Rawhead Rex and like Leaping Leprechauns.
Real quick, I also do that on St. Patrick's Day, but also since I've bought this 7 film set, well, not the 7th one, I'm pretty sure throughout the year I just put these movies on and I just let them play.
Oh, they're great.
all throughout the year.
Yeah.
But anyway, keep going.
But I never spin in the hood. I stop at 4. 4 is like the end of the night. I've had maybe a couple too many drinks.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm going to bed now.
Well, 3 and 4, because especially on that stupid disc set, they're like on the same disc. I play those babies.
Yeah.
I double feature those all the time.
I don't know. It's lukewarm for me. Like I think it's so like slapped together.
Yeah.
I feel like Warwick's the best part, and he's sleepwalking through this fucking
There's
thing.
really good one-liners and really good gags. It actually, because
It's 2 scenes in a vacuum.
my
It's
problem-
the smoke in the weed
Yeah.
scene and the end.
But there's a few like my problem with 2 is like they're in Hollywood and they don't really do any Hollywood things.
If that's your biggest gripe with 2,
yeah, But I mean, I'm like, why even have it? And like, all they do is like the tours, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
But like, when you think about like 3, really embraces the Vegas thing. He's in the club.
Well, sure.
He's doing all this. 4, he is in space. He's doing a bunch of. He's dealing with robots.
Well, at that point, yeah, but you're progressing. Like if we're going after the first film, I think it makes sense.
in the hood, I'm like, yeah, he's actually doing stuff in the hood, and it's again, we always compare it to this one. Jason Takes Manhattan. He didn't
This
really
blows it out of the fucking water.
He didn't really take Manhattan in
I
that.
would watch this over Takes Manhattan.
I'm glad, in a way, I'm happy for Jason Takes Manhattan because I feel like so many other films, especially this series, like, okay, if we're gonna say he's somewhere, we're putting him there, and he will be there.
Talk about a movie that has 2 good scenes: the subway scene and when he punches that guy's head off.
Yeah.
That's it.
He's in fucking Compton in this movie.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's pretty hood.
And so I think it's got some good one-liners. It's so awkwardly placed. Like, again, I can't get over like 5 or 6 scenes of like, can you believe this flute does magic? Like, yeah, we fucking know. We know.
Somebody was like, wouldn't this be funny if Leprechaun was in the hood? What if Ice-T had an afro and pulled a bat out of his afro?
And Ice-T's pretty great.
That's where it ends, though. You know?
I would like a version of this movie where it's
just Ice-T?
It's just Ice-T.
Ice-T v. Lubden, the movie, which is what this should have been, and that's how it's marketed.
By the way, I should have explained this because I never talked about it. Lubden is the name of the leprechaun in like a comic, right?
I said that earlier.
He did.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
Thank you for adding to the lore, though,
That's
Tony.
the goof, though.
Okay, no, because I was just thinking there. I'm like, because I've never used that name in my previous reviews. Like, oh, I should have mentioned that earlier. Because there's probably someone who's like, who the fuck is Lubden?
You asked Movie Dumpster to come to this show. We bring the MDU stank and we lay it on.
Your fans who are coming here, they're like, no, Tony, we're up to date on who Lubden is, you asshole.
On the lore.
The deep Lubden lore.
Listen, I kind of love this movie. It's not good.
I will say the comedy is better in this. I think Back to the Hood has like a better script and is shot better. But it's lacking on the. I feel like the gags and one-liners in this, if you move them to Back to the Hood, it would be a little bit better.
Like
listen.
I feel like they had more money for that one too.
Yeah, that's weird. This must have been an unexpected hit. Which is weird. Trimark was probably like, oh, thank God, just get it off our hands. We're done.
It's for the stoners were like, oh my God,
yeah,
it's Leprechaun smoking a joint.
Yes, and yeah, exactly.
Which is there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
I'm just saying this pairs well with like Ginger Dead Man
again,
or Evil Bong.
It must have done so well that they're like, well, we got to send him back to the hood.
Sure.
But even then, that's a different Leprechaun. But we'll talk about that next year when we get to Back to the Hood.
This, again, like I said, it's not very good. I enjoy it.
Yeah.
I watched it last year. Then I did it this year for your show. I actually liked it a little more on this viewing.
Yeah.
Again, a lot of jokes are dated. It's probably a 2 or 3 out of 5 for me, but that doesn't really mean it stinks. It's just this is not gonna work for a lot of people, but for me, I don't know. It's just so fucking silly.
Yeah.
And like realistically, anything after 2, they just were like, fuck it, let's just go full satire. Not a bad thing. I'm saying though, they kind of leaned into it heavy duty because 2, a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's still pretty serious overall. 3, 4, this one, the one after this. It's silly as shit, man.
Yeah.
Like, and that's either for you or it's not. And again, like, questionable jokes aside, it bothered me to a point, but I don't really care at the end of the day. It's still funny.
It's big.
I'm not gonna watch. I wasn't planning to watch it for a while again. I was gonna probably watch Back to the Hood, honestly, this year, and I still will.
I think we all will.
I would say.
Is it Ray J in the Back to the? But anyway.
I don't remember. I would say if you haven't seen it in a while, I mean, I would say that for any of these movies, but specifically this one, like, give it another watch. Like, you might totally hate it and tell me online or be like, what the fuck was Sean from Movie Dumpster talking about? This is a pile of gut dog shit. And Leprechaun shit.
And that's the thing.
that you're going to burn,
It comes
obviously.
in a crock.
The good thing
Comes from
about
Shillelagh.
these movies, other than Returns, you just go in blind to any of them because they're not connected.
Going blind. The biggest sin this commits is the production value. When you go, like, even Leprechaun 4, say what you will about it, and it's zany and off the wall, it's a fucking blast to watch because
they're still on a spaceship. Those sets
but
look
they
cool.
have the budget to blow
I
a
think
fucking
they-
leprechaun up and do all kinds of crazy effects with Mitten Spider and that guy turning into fucking skeleton.
I think there was
this
just-
is like blood on your neck, choke, like from
No,
some bad
yeah.
70s low budget movie, and it's like it's not.
I think there were diminishing returns because what you call it, 3 might have been the last one in theaters.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, so they're like, all right, let's not pump as much. Clearly, there's an audience, but not as much as we thought.
You have 4 other movies that are more fun to watch than that one, and that's
this is the memey
the takeaway.
one.
Yeah.
But like, if you've seen all like the memes and the pictures and the clips, you've seen the funniest parts. I mean, check it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, you probably have more fun with the sixth one, Back to the Hood.
Yeah.
But yes, that is it from us. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Are you gonna do a jig?
You did it for me. I did enough dancing in this fucking chair.
Movie Dumpster.
Yeah.
That's us.
Where can we find you guys?
Where can you not find us is the question. We're on YouTube. If you haven't gone over to the Movie Dumpster YouTube yet and hit subscribe or watch
what are you
videos,
waiting for?
What are you waiting for? Go check it out. You want to catch up on all the deep loved-in lore? We did Leprechaun 4. We did Leapin' Leprechauns. We did the Unluckiest Leprechaun.
It's too many leprechauns.
Rawhead Rex. It's all connected.
And we have another Leprechaun adjacent one coming out.
Oh.
called Red Clover.
Yeah, we're doing Red Clover.
Might even come out this week.
We're doing Red Clover
Is it a communist leprechaun? Like, I'm thinking of like the leprechaun with the
It's-
iron and sickle, like Red Clover.
Look it up. It's definitely more of, I don't even want to say traditional, but more of like a...
But what a leprechaun is in the lore of a leprechaun,
Yeah.
not
Okay.
like the cutesy shit, but like
Oh,
the fairy, AE
Oh, gotcha.
Yes.
Gotcha.
type thing where it's a mischievous spirit, but it's got the Zane train in it, baby.
Oh,
As
Billy
a cop.
Zane!
Yeah.
Billy
And we're
Zane.
doing it with Dustin Elkins from the Flicks and Friends
Yes.
podcast.
Oh, nice,
Yeah.
nice.
And yeah, you could check us out on Patreon too. I mean, I plugged your stuff, Tony. I gotta
Yes.
plug ours a little
Yes,
bit.
yes.
Patreon.com/movie dumpster, where we do it's a little similar to what Tony does, commentary tracks.
And if you're feeling,
But better.
You heard it here first from very famous Tony.
hey, I didn't say it, he did.
I mean, an episode without them, maybe like the mine's way better. But anyway, keep going.
But if you're feeling zesty, we're doing a Leprechaun 2 commentary track for Patreon, so go over there, check that out.
And like I said, I have commentary tracks for the first 7 Leprechaun movies. It was before I was very famous and important. It was 2017. Johanna did the second one with me.
The same year Chow died.
Same year Chow
Poor
died.
guy.
I did it for him.
yes, you did. In memorandum.
Yeah, there's a few people in there. Like I said, one me and Kieran doing Origins. That
Oh yeah.
because there's one kill in that. Like, we hated that movie, but there's one kill where we're like, okay, that was good. So yeah, check that out. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'm filming this ahead of time. I'm assuming everyone loves the new store set. I mean, it looks close enough, right?
I think it's a lot more cozier.
It is cozier.
I like the layout.
I feel more natural on this set.
Yeah, yeah.
You even got Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
I do have. I think that might have always been there.
It's just one I picked out
your,
of the bunch.
I like your little sign too. Now I can't fucking do that because you did it already. But it's cool.
Why the fuck you can do it?
I know I could. Or we could.
What do you think I'm gonna do? Fucking yeah! How dare you have a marquee? They sell this at Walmart.
I know.
Just go get it.
I'm just saying. It's kind of like your thing. I don't want to fucking dog your shit. That's all I'm
Joe,
saying.
it's literally here to hide the therapy light that I use to light the corner on normally lit episode. That's literally the only reason this exists. I need it light in this corner. I have this stupid therapy lamp that matches the color temperature. And I'm like, fuck.
we used that on a shoot one time.
We've used this many times. And I was like, fuck, all right, that's working. But now I got this stupid therapy lamp. I'm like, what am I going to use to cover it? And I was in Walmart and saw this.
Well, I think it's cool and I like it.
And just
you can get it.
I know I can.
By the way, change the colors.
Oh, you should have made it green.
Everything else was green, so I made it white.
Tony, I know you're trying to wrap this up, but I just want to, make one last joke here.
Yes.
Because whenever you're on our show, you constantly say you're going to steal Joe's shit. Don't worry about that mummy cop mask. I definitely am not going to steal it on my way out. It just, it fell behind the shelf. So,
Okay.
keep that in
It's
mind.
off camera. I have a mask wall here.
Oh, sorry.
I'm sure I have a tour on Patreon, but if I upload this video and it's still not on Patreon, please leave a comment saying, Tony, do a goddamn tour of the set.
Yeah, Marquis won't be here either, by the way.
Again, they're at Walmart. They're at $17.
I'll save the $20 and just take it. If he's taking the mummy cop.
Save the $5.
Oh my God. All right, that's it from us. Let's get drunk.
Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out our other videos and Patreon page.
Talking about tapes.